a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies. Till all my fears are gone, I'm no longer a slave to fear, yeah. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Oh, I am a child of God. Oh, from my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name, and I've been born again to your family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I'm a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Oh, I am a child of God, and I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. Oh, I am a child of God. The sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it, yeah. Drown my fears in perfect love. You rescued me so I could stand and see. I am the child of God. I am the child of God. Child of God, child of God. One more time. 'Cause I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
Hey everyone, it's Pastor James here, coming at you from my garage. And so if you follow Lake Stevens at all, and you've ever heard me speak, you probably have heard me mention my garage multiple times. It's a place that I come to, not because I'm some handy wood, person or anything like that. I like this area for a reason, and I'm going to get to it in a second. But the weather is beautiful today. I'm in here. You can probably hear the very subtle sounds of people outside mowing their lawns. My neighbors are all mowing their lawns. People somewhere outside working on their cars, and so you'll hear some cars driving by and starting and things like that. But it's just interesting because, the nicer weather, people are out more, you tend to have more opportunities to get to know your neighbors and say hello and connect and do all those kinds of fun stuff. But that's not what I want to talk about here today. I want to talk about, what do you do to reset? What do you do to get back to zero? And what I mean is in everything that we do in our lives, whether it's our diet, whether it's our exercise, whether it's our sleep patterns, our work patterns, things like that, there's typically something we do where we get back to the point of basics, right? And so, for example, if, right now with the way that we've been confined and, lack of exercise and things like that, I've been able to go to my gym for over a month and, I'm kind of itching a little bit, but it's very easy to, your diet to get out of whack. And so a lot of times people will do some sort of a cleanse, right? They'll do a juice cleanse, or they'll do a fast, or they're going to go on, keto, or they'll do gluten-free or Beachbody or whatever it is. And they kind of get to this reset moment where they're bringing their body back to where it was before, or at the start of all of this. And so we all do those things. And if it's sleep, it's, I got to get back to going to bed at 10 o'clock. If it's, exercise, I got to get back to running 2 miles a day or whatever it is. And so we all have those. And I'm going to talk to you about spiritual resetting in a second. But for me, when I feel stressed out, when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like there's just something that I can't seem to control, I come to my garage and I clean it. I know it seems so stupid and so basic, but for me, it's something that I can kind of turn my mind off of. And usually, I don't think about ministry things, and sometimes I do, and I'll have inspiration for things like that. But it's something that I can kind of just turn my mind off of and just do. It's not rocket science to pull boxes down, and to open them and go, oh yeah, this is what this is. We don't need this. That's going in the Goodwill pile. Oh yeah, we want to keep this. And you start condensing and you pull things out and you throw things away and you clean things up and you rearrange. And right on the other side here is my car. Normally my wife's car parks here. That was my project at the end of fall last year, was to be able to get both cars in for the winter, and I achieved it. And so, these kinds of things. And I enjoy doing that. And I enjoy rearranging and going, wow, look at all this extra space we have now. And we end up usually filling it with bikes and everything else. But at the end of it, when I'm done, there's something that I accomplished. There's something that I did that I can physically see. There it is, right? And so for me, it serves a double purpose. One, it's getting me some exercise. It's getting me out there. I burn a ton of calories because I'm out here for like 8 hours. And also there's a sense of accomplishment. I turn off my brain. And so for me, even though I'm tired at the end of it, it's a good tired. And so when I'm talking about a reset, when we're talking about what do you do when you feel like, I need to do something, my question to you now, I'm going to move it to the spiritual, is when you're out of whack with God. Right now, it can be so easy to get out of whack with God, right? It can be so frustrating because you feel like, oh man, I haven't been able to go to church and get my worship on, or, I miss hugging people and building connections and doing all these things. And I get that. Trust me, I get that. I'm a pastor. That's what I do for a living, right? And so I understand that. But it can be so easy to be caught up in all of that and just to sit in this ball and, I'm inside here and I'm trapped and I'm so frustrated and what do I do? And it can be so easy to do that. Or you can go back to your reset. What is your reset moment with you and God? Maybe it's, for me, and I'm, before I start doing into the maybes, for me personally, when I'm feeling disconnected from God, I get quiet, if that makes sense. I do a couple different things. One of the things I do is I'll get quiet. It'll be after the kids go to sleep, so I'm not distracted. And I will sit on the floor and I will have just a candle, one candle or one source of light, and my Bible. And I don't even have the Bible open. I have it closed. And I just, in the quiet, just pray. I just let my mind open. I say, God, what is it that you want me to hear? And sometimes my Bible will open. He'll not like by itself. But sometimes he'll say, hey, turn to, and then I'll open to Mark, turn to Ephesians, turn to Nehemiah, turn to whatever. And sometimes he inspires me to look through scriptures, and other times the Bible stays closed the whole time, and I'm just praying, and I'm just listening to God, and I'm just letting him speak into my heart and into my mind. And those are one of the things that I do. Another thing I do is I go for a walk in nature. I know it seems kind of funny because I'm not really a camping nature kind of person, but I appreciate nature. I love the beauty, the simplicity, and the complexness of nature in itself. And so I will go for a run. I will go for a walk on some trail, even though right now all the trails are closed. I know, another aspect of bummerness. But those are just a couple things that I do to reset. And there's different things. Sometimes you just feel like getting worship on. And so I'll go to my car and I'll crank on some worship music and I'll just listen and speak and do all those things. And so we each find what we can. But my question is, what do you do? And if you don't know the answer to that, my challenge to you is find what connects you. And if it used to be, well, I would go to church and I would be inspired by a great message and a great, worship set and my friends encouraging me. And that's what I used to do in the past. Well, obviously that's not as easy to do right now, but it's not impossible. You can still connect. Come join us online if you haven't been doing already. Get into the chat and make some connections. Maybe set up some Zoom coffee dates, right? Where you guys just sit virtually with your cups of coffee and you just talk and hang out and pray for each other. Those are things that are so simple to do that we can consistently do with each other. The other thing, if you don't know how to figure it out, ask somebody. If you say, what do you do? Ask them what they do and then try it. It may not work. It may not work the first time. It may work the second time. It may not work a dozen times, but it works the seventh time. Whatever it is, try some different things. Go for walks, pray, sing, have conversations, draw, paint, sculpt. I don't know, whatever your heart is telling you to do, try it. And so my encouragement today is, what is your spiritual reset that you need to do? What is that spiritual reset that you need to place in your heart with your God, with our God, not just your God, but our God? What is that thing that needs to connect you guys together? And do it. Be intentional. Make an appointment. Don't put it off till next week, tomorrow. Do it immediately. Find that alone time where you can just get on your knees and on your face and just listen for the voice of God, whatever it is that he is inspiring to tell you right now. Hopefully some of that resonated with your heart. I'm trying to find new ways to connect and encourage you guys, as well as connect and stay with God. And so I get the struggle. And so if you have any insight, put them in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys do as well too. And maybe there's some of those things I can do myself. And one day we'll get through this and we'll be able to hang out again. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.